This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our NFL Pick Show here for Sunday, October 19th. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have lots of free picks over our channel delivered by myself, as well as our team of cappers here at Tony'sPicks.com, making this a great channel to subscribe to. Hit us up with that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate that. Then visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top performers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get some to long-term passes. Top performers here like Sean Higgs for the year, Rod doing great, DeAndre, guys you know from our live shows, as well as our YouTube video. Brian Biller's been hot the last 3 days. El Nino's hitting the board as well. Brian Palmer, Devon, you see here on our show, big day. Latest predicts here on the page with best bets and more. We will be locked and loaded here for this card on Sunday. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. That they must turn a profit. Amount purchased is credit back to your account for site credits. That's profit guaranteed. Of course, look for the $19 premium plays. We also have a multi-pack tab up there as well. And, of course, we do offer props, so keep an eye on that props tab as well, as we have cappers that are offering props there. Also, profit guarantee on the multi-packs as well. And our promo code at TonyT at checkout knocks off that 15%. The link is in the description to get signed up. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one underway. All right, the Rams and Jaguars from London. All right, we got LA receiver Nakua and right tackle out. Jacksonville has a linebacker out. No significant injury advantage there based on the Chow ratings. LA now 4-2 after a 17-3 road win at Baltimore. The Rams rushed for 3 yards to carry and were light in the passing game. They limited the Ravens' air attack and allowed 179 yards rushing for nearly 5 yards to carry. Matthew Stafford 17-26 passing for 101 yards with a touchdown. Jacksonville fell to 4-2, a 20-12 home defeat to Seattle. The Jaguars rushed for 3 yards to carry and were ineffective in the passing game. They limited the Seahawks' ground attack and allowed 286 yards passing for 10.6 yards per pass attempt. Trevor Lawrence in the game, 27-42 passing for 258 yards with 2 touchdowns. Game played in London here. Rain is in the forecast. LA offense has struggled the past 2 weeks and their top receiver out. Jacksonville has rushed for 4.7 yards to carry and has allowed 62% completion rate. The Jaguars have covered 4-6. LA 2-4 the spread, facing teams with a +1 turnover margin or better. Pick here Jacksonville +3. Eagles and the Vikings for Sunday. Philadelphia has a fullback out with left guard questionable. On defense, an end is questionable. Minnesota quarterback McCarthy, center and right tackle questionable. On defense, a linebacker out. Philadelphia has a clear injury advantage based on the Chow ratings by +4.80, based on the Vikings players on the IR. The lowest health rating is the Vikings offense at 80.4. We have Philadelphia falling to 4-2 after a 34-17 road defeat to the Giants. Eagles rushed for 3.4 yards to carry and moved the ball through the air. Defensively, they allowed 172 yards rushing to the Giants for 4.4 yards to carry with 7.5 yards per pass attempt. Jalen Hurts in the game, 24-33 for 283 yards with a touchdown pick. He had a rushing score. Minnesota now 3-2, a 21-17 road win to Cleveland. The Vikings rushed for 4 yards to carry and moved the ball through the air. They limited the Browns' quarterback efficiency but allowed 140 rushing yards for 4.4 yards to carry. Carson Wentz here, 25-34 for 236 yards and a touchdown. Philadelphia offense is really struggling on the road. 3.3 yards per rush, 6 yards per pass attempt. They're allowing almost 4.5 yards to carry on the ground on the highway. The Vikings at home running for 5 yards to carry and defending the pass well. Philadelphia 1-5 the spread on the road, following a loss. The Vikings 7-4 the spread at home, following a win. Pick here will be Minnesota +1.5. Dolphins and the Browns for Sunday, possibly bad weather here. Miami has a linebacker and cornerback questionable. Cleveland tight end Njoku out with the right tackle questionable. On defensive tackle questionable. Cleveland has a slight injury advantage based on the Chow ratings. Both offenses have low ratings in the mid-70s. Miami now 1-5, a 29-27 home defeat to the Chargers. Dolphins rushed for 137 yards for 6.5 yards to carry with movement in the passing game, but they allowed 403 yards to the Chargers, defending the run and pass poorly. Tua Tagovailoa, 21-32 passing for 205 yards with a touchdown and 3 picks. Cleveland drops to 1-5 with a 23-9 road loss at Pittsburgh. The Browns rushed for 3.8 yards to carry and poor in the passing game. They allowed 3.6 yards per rush to the Steelers with 235 yards passing for 7.8 yards per pass attempt. Dylan Gabriel, 29 of 52 for 221 yards. Cleveland has struggled to get the points on the board. The Dolphins on the road completing 67% of their passes. The Browns at home averaging 14 points per game with 3.4 yards per rush and 5 yards per pass attempt. Miami 3-0 the spread on the road, facing teams that average 17 points per game or fewer. Pick here Miami +3. Raiders and the Chiefs going off on Sunday. Las Vegas tight end Bowers is doubtful. Receivers Myers questionable. KC left tackle out. The Chiefs have a clear injury advantage based on the channel ratings by +5.6 units. Las Vegas offense the lowest rating 80.7. Las Vegas improved to 2-4 after a 20-10 home victory against Tennessee. The Raiders rushed for 2.1 yards a carry and were light in the passing game. They contained the Titans' passing attack and allowed 65 yards rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. Geno Smith 17 of 23 passes for 174 yards with a touchdown and pick. Kansas City 3-2 after their 30-17 home victory against Detroit. The Chiefs rushed for 112 yards for 3.8 yards a carry and effective in the passing game. They allowed 4 yards per rush to the Lions with 199 yards passing for 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Patrick Mahomes in the game, 22 of 30 for 257 yards with 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 32 yards and a score. Las Vegas defense has been crushed on the road, allowing 31 points per game with 4.8 yards per rush. On defense, they're throwing for 261 yards with high completion rate and 7.9 yards per pass attempt. As KC got healthier, their offensive output has increased. In their past 3 games, they have averaged 32 points per game. The Chiefs' defense at home allowing 5.2 yards per rush with 73% completion rate. Las Vegas, in their past 2 road games, gave up 40 at Indianapolis, 41 at Washington. The pick here will be Las Vegas and KC over 45.5. Saints and the Bears going off here on Sunday. New Orleans nickelback is questionable. Chicago running back Swift questionable. On defense, the linebacker out with tackle questionable. New Orleans has an injury advantage based on the Dr. Chow ratings by plus 4.6 health ratings here. New Orleans fell to 1-5 after a 25-19 home defeat to New England. The Saints rushed for 3 yards to carry and moved the ball through the air. They limited the Patriots on the ground and allowed 260 yards passing for 10 yards per pass attempt. Spencer Rattler here, 20 of 26 passing for 227 yards. Chicago now 3-2 after a 25-24 road win at Washington on Monday night. The Bears rushed for 145 yards for 5.4 yards a carry, and that really had good movement in the passing game. They allowed 4 yards per rush to the Commanders with 205 passing yards for 7.9 yards per pass attempt. Caleb Williams here, 17 of 29 passing for 252 yards and a touchdown. New Orleans rushing for 4.5 yards a carry on the road while allowing teams just 3.9 yards per rush. Chicago struggles at home here with the run game. On defense at home, they give up over 5 yards a carry and 72% completion rate. It is a short week for the Bears coming off that Monday night road win. Big here in New Orleans plus 4.5. Patriots and the Titans going off here on Sunday. Diggs questionable on defense. The linebacker and safety are questionable. Tennessee receiver Ridley out. On defense, the linebacker out and questionable. New England has a slight injury advantage based on the Dr. Chow ratings. New England improved to 4-2 after a 25-19 road win at New Orleans. The Patriots rushed for under 3 yards a carry and efficient in the passing game. On defense, they held the Saints to 3 yards per carry with 223 yards passing for 8.6 yards per pass attempt. Drake May here, 18 of 26 passes for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tennessee now 1-5 after a 20-10 road defeat in Las Vegas. The Titans were miserable through the air and rushed for 65 yards. They held the Raiders to 2.2 yards per rush with 158 yards passing for 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Cam Ward, 26 of 38 passing for 222 yards with a touchdown and pick. New England on the run here rushed for 3.2 yards a carry and have been poor in pass defense by allowing 76% completion rate for 8.6 yards per pass attempt. 3 straight road games for the Patriots. All 3 victories by the Patriots on the road have been by 6 or fewer. They are 2-7 the spread on the road against losing teams. The spot is horrible for New England here. We'll take Tennessee plus the 7. Panthers and the Jets for Sunday. Carolina receiver Coker is questionable, as is the guard, center, and right tackle. New York receiver Wilson doubtful. On defense, and nickelback is out with linebacker doubtful. Carolina has a clear injury advantage based on the child ratings by plus 5.8 ratings points. New York has the lowest health rating here at 77.9 here, based on the players on the IR on defense. Carolina at 3-3 after a 30-27 home victory against Dallas. The Panthers rushed for 216 yards for 5.7 yards a carry and effective in the passing game. They held the Cowboys to 1.6 yards per rush with 261 yards passing for 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Bryce Young here, 17-25 passes for 199 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. New York sits at 0-6 here, 13-11 defeat in London here to Denver. The Jets rushed for 92 yards for 3 yards a carry and just awful in the passing game. They limit the Broncos to 3 yards per rush with 168 yards passing for 5.6 yards per pass attempt. Justin Fields here, 9-17 for 45 yards. Carolina defense on the road is allowing 32 points per game, 4.7 yards per rush, 8 yards per pass attempt. They're also getting poor quarterback play away from home. New York at home, they're rushing for over 5 yards a carry and holding opposing quarterbacks to 64% completion rate. Carolina 5-14 to the spread on the road. Pick your Jets plus 1.5. Colts and the Chargers going off here on Sunday. Indianapolis receiver Downs is out. On defense at corner is out with a nickelback questionable. LA left tackle doubtful with a right tackle out. On defense, the safety is doubtful with linebacker questionable. Indianapolis has a significant injury advantage based on the Dr. Chow ratings by plus 12.4 health rating points. LA offense a really low health rating of 70 with the Colts offense a high health rating of 90. Indianapolis now 5-1 with their 31-27 home victory against Arizona. The Colts rushed for 150 yards for 5.5 yards a carry and had movement with their passing game. They limited the Cardinals on the ground but allowed 312 yards passing for 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Daniel Jones here, 22 of 30 for 212 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick, plus a rushing score. LA now 4-2 after a 29-27 road win at Miami. The Chargers rushed for 140 yards for 5.6 yards a carry with good work in the passing game. They allowed 6.5 yards a carry to the Dolphins with 240 yards passing for 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Justin Herbert here, 29 of 38 passes for 264 yards with 2 touchdowns. The Colts' only loss came at the Rams by 7. They made mistakes, moved the football there. Indianapolis offense on the road, putting up 31 points per game, 4.6 yards per rush, and effective quarterback play away from home. They have defended the run well on the road. LA has struggled offensively at home, just about 16 points a game, 5.6 yards per pass attempt. Their defense has performed poorly at home, allowing 5.7 yards per rush, 7.3 yards per pass attempt. Indianapolis 3-1 to the spread on the road after 2 games at home. LA 2-6 to the spread at home against winning teams. Pick here will be Colts plus 2.5. Giants and Broncos going off here on Sunday. New York receiver Slayton and center are out. Denver starters are healthy. The Broncos have an injury advantage based on the child ratings. New York now 2-4 after a 34-17 home victory against Philadelphia. The Giants rushed for 172 yards for 4.4 yards a carry with good work in the passing game. They limit the Eagles to 3.6 yards per carry and 266 yards passing for 8 yards per attempt there. Jackson Dart here, 17-25 passes for 195 yards and a touchdown. He rushed for 58 yards and a score. Denver 4-2 after a 13-11 road win at New York Jets in London. The Broncos rushed for 78 yards for 3 yards a carry with not much in the passing game. They held the Jets to 92 rushing yards with negative passing yardage. Bo Nix in the game, 19 of 30 passing for 174 yards and a touchdown. New York on the road has rushed for 4 yards a carry with 259 yards passing. Denver at home averaging only 6 yards per pass attempt. There, of course, they did come off that London game. 4 of 6 of the games to the Broncos resulted in really poor passing games. Pick your Giants plus 7.5. Packers and the Cardinals going off here on Sunday. Green Bay running back Jacobs, the receiver Wicks, and right tackle are questionable. On defense, the tackle's out with corner questionable. Arizona quarterback Murray, receiver Jones, and a guard is questionable. On defense, an end is questionable. Green Bay has a significant injury advantage based on the child ratings of plus 6.10. Arizona's offense has a low health rating of 71.6. Green Bay now 3-1 after a 27-18 home victory against Cincinnati. The Packers gained 419 yards with good work on the ground and air. They allowed 55 yards of rushing to the Bengals with 213 passing yards for 4.7 yards per pass attempt. Jordan Love, 19-26 passing for 259 yards with a touchdown and pick. Arizona fell to 2-4 with a 31-27 road win to Indianapolis. The Colts rushed for 150 yards for 5.5 yards a carry. They surrendered 3.5 yards per rush to the Cardinals, with 312 yards passing for 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Jacoby Brissett played for an injured Murray. He goes 27-44 for 320 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Green Bay has failed to cover both road games. Brissett put up good numbers for an injured Murray. The Packers' defense on the road allowing 4.7 yards per rush, 68% completion rate. They are 0-6 to the spread as a road favorite of 3.5 to 9.5 points. Arizona 8-5. The spread is home underdog. Pick here Arizona +7. Commanders and the Cowboys going off here on Sunday. Washington receivers McLaurin and Samuel are out with tight end Ertz questionable. On defense, and end is questionable. Dallas has a corner out with free safety questionable. Dallas has a clear injury advantage based on the child ratings about +5. Dallas offense has the highest health ratings, about 87. We got Washington falling to 3-3 after a 25-24 home defeat on Monday night to Chicago. Commanders rushed for 4 yards to carry and moved the football through the air. They allowed 145 yards rushing to the Bears with 5.5 yards to carry, with 236 yards passing for 8.1 yards per pass attempt. Jane Daniels completed here 19-26 passing for 211 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. He rushed for 52 yards. Dallas drops at 2-3-1 after a 30-27 road defeat at Carolina. The Cowboys rushed for 31 yards and were effective in the passing game. They allowed 216 yards rushing to the Panthers for 5.7 yards to carry and 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Dak Prescott hit 25-34 passing for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. Washington on the road has not been efficient at quarterback and has defended the pass poorly. Dallas put up 40 points per game in both home games. At home, they're rushing for 4.7 yards a carry with great quarterback play. The Commanders' playmakers' injuries are concerned here. They are 2-5 the spread on the road against the division. The Cowboys 3-1 the spread at home, facing teams that allow 350 yards per game or greater. Pick here Dallas -1. Falcons and 49ers for Sunday night. Atlanta receiver Mooney and left tackle are questionable. Their nickel back out. San Francisco quarterback Purdy and receiver Pearsall out. On defense, Bosa out with the corner and nickel back questionable. Atlanta does have a significant injury advantage based on the child ratings. The San Francisco defense has the lowest health rating at 65.3 based on guys on the IR. Atlanta improved to 3-2 after a 24-14 home victory against Buffalo on Monday night. The Falcons gained 443 yards with effective passing and throwing. They limited the Bills' passing attack and allowed 134 yards of rushing for 5.6 yards per carry. Michael Penix, 20 of 32 passes for 250 yards and a touchdown. San Francisco, 4-2 with their 30-19 road defeat at Tampa Bay. The 49ers rushed for 3 yards to carry and moved the ball through the air. They allowed 4 yards per rush to the Bucs, with 248 yards passing for 10.8 yards per pass attempt. Mac Jones in the game, 27-39 passing for 347 yards, but 2 interceptions. Short week for Atlanta following their Monday night win. They have a road defeat at Carolina by 30 points. Atlanta quarterback play has been inefficient on the road. Mac Jones has been effective in a backup role. San Francisco has defended well at home, allowing 4.3 yards per rush, 5 yards per pass attempt. Atlanta 3-7 of the spread as a road underdog. Pick here San Francisco -1.5. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have lots of free picks over our channel, delivered by myself as well as our team of cappers here at Tony'sPicks.com, making this a great channel to subscribe to. We go live every day, 9:30 a.m. each time. It is the Tony's Morning Show, so tune into that and interact with us in live chat. Hit us up with a like and thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Then visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com, for our best bets. Our premium plays are there. And, of course, use that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you'll save that 15%. The link's in the description to get signed up. That will do it for now. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you guys later.